There you
That's
are, Owen.
fantastic.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. That makes more sense. Oh, I'm gone again.
Oh, it's nice to talk to you again. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Oh, nice to see you. That's a very dramatic background you have there.
Oh,
Yeah, it
thank you.
looks
How to do
like
it? How to do it?
Treasure Island. Oh, is that? Oh, it's Juniper.
It
Oh,
is. It's
wow.
Juniper. How
Oh,
to
I
do it
didn't know what
right
it
for you,
was.
Owen?
I thought it was Treasure Island. Or, no, that's fantastic. It
No, it's
looks
our
good.
hero. It's our 11-year-old hero. Well, good morning to you, and congratulations on your new book.
Thank
Tell us,
you.
how does an 11-year-old girl capture the spirit of the Christmas season?
I think she's kind of like she so encapsulates Christmas that she even represents it to Santa Claus himself. So previously, Saint Nick or Santa Claus would be the beacon of Christmas spirit that reminds us all that once, at least once a year, can you just try and be nice? You know, just for one time, because we can forget. And I sometimes go for months without calling my family or calling my brothers, and especially now that my parents are gone, we don't feel that we're obligated to do that. But when Christmas comes around, everybody puts aside whatever they're doing and they head home to Wexford Town, and we all become a family again. And I think that's what Santa Claus meant to a lot of people. So in the story, when Santa Claus stops working, that's all gone, and suddenly you're left without this beacon of hope and a little bit duty. And everybody's at sea, but Juniper doesn't lose it, and she actually manages to persuade Santa Claus, who's become quite the curmudgeon. He's more closer to Scrooge than Saint Nick. You know, there are good people. Most people are nice. Go back to work. Stop being, don't. You're just you don't give up. Go back to work. So
Yeah, but there's a
it's
lot on Juniper's shoulders, and she's an 11-year-old girl that goes up against a crime boss, and she literally has to
yeah,
save Christmas, right?
yeah. It's a lot to do, and I think the other stuff about going up against a crime boss and saving Christmas, that's almost incidental. That just happens to be part and parcel of what she's doing, which is to find her mother. And I think most kids would do that. Uh, and it's kind of the same motivation I used in the Artemis Fowl plot, where his dad was missing. He wanted to find the dad. And in this case, it's slightly less dramatic, and the mother's, she's only gone for a few hours. But most kids, if their parents went missing, they would do, and most adults would do anything. And Juniper decides she's going to find this old hermit who lives in the field next to the park, because she thinks it could be Santa Claus
Right.
who's absconded, and she's correct. And eventually and reluctantly, he is won around to helping her in her cause. It has a lot of the stuff you'd expect from one of my books if you've read one, which is it's a lot of adventure. There's a lot of unusual characters. There's a good baddie, and there's someone who gets redeemed, um, and it being Christmas, I would say there's probably going to be a nice happy ending. But
Well,
it's different in it doesn't have a lot of the snark maybe that the Artemis Fowl books has. It's a warmer book.
yeah, because you explored social themes, familiar holiday
Yeah.
themes, hope, forgiveness, family. Only Christmas can really accentuate those themes, can it?
Yeah, Christmas is a time when these things are pointed out, and that, yes, you're happy at Christmas, but a lot of people are not happy at Christmas. And there's a lot of fantastic charities doing amazing work all over the world. We have a lot in Dublin that remind you, listen, yes, it's great, you're coming home for Christmas and your family's home and your mum and dad are there, but these people, they're having to live in a hotel room because they lost their home because their rents have been tripled. So there's a lot going on, and it's a good time for us to be genuinely, and not just saying it, but be genuinely thankful for who is in our life and what is in our life, and maybe even help out a little bit somehow someone who does not have the same advantages that we have.
It seems like Christmas meant a lot to you growing up. Do you have a favorite Christmas memory that you can share?
I have a lot. I think I was always the guy who was trying to catch Santa Claus, and a few Christmases I would wake up and with my head up against the banister because I've been trying to stay up and watch Santa Claus, and I would have like the mark of the wood on my head. So I was always trying to catch him, and I never ever did. And my favorite memory, I think, is when myself and my brother Paul were about 11, and we got these bikes. And this was not from Santa Claus. We got a separate little Santa Claus present, but we got 2 bikes. Now, just how amazing that was to us. The previous year, our entire present combined from Santa and parents was a Wrangler sweatshirt. So that was the present, and we were very happy with that. So for us to get 2 bikes, we couldn't understand how that had happened, that this must be for somebody else's house. And I only found out later, many years later, that my dad had started, he was a teacher, he started doing art lessons on a Saturday morning to make an extra few quid, and he used that money to buy us bikes. So that was like he did extra work for a year. So that's kind of the memory that gives twice, because at the first instance, we got these 2 choppers, did I mention, which was amazing. But now looking back on that memory, all I can think about is my dad leaving the house on Saturday mornings, when I'm sure he would have much have preferred to play a game of golf or, paint, because he was a brilliant painter as well. But he was going off to teach art so that me and my brother could have bicycles. So it's amazing memory.
Well, I'll tell you, Owen, I miss Ireland. I spent 2 weeks there a few years back. One of the greatest experiences of my life. Traditionally, they take Christmas very seriously over there. And also, to get me in the holiday mood, I put on my Chieftains music. The Holly and the Ivy is one of my favorite albums. And so it's not Christmas if I don't hear the Chieftains, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I love the Chieftains. And they're one of our amazing exports that people in Ireland don't realize how big they are around the world. They're internationally, we're not used to having traditional bands be world famous. I think there's only about 3 or 4, and the Chieftains just paved the way for all of that. So that was a great choice.
Yes, and I've seen them live here. They've come to Las Vegas, and right now at the Sphere here on the Strip, we have U2, another great export from Ireland. So
we are hoping to get there in February. They've added extra day. I was supposed to be there. I think my friend is going tomorrow night, but I just couldn't make it happen. So, and I've never been to Vegas.
Oh, well.
So we're bringing, actually, I don't know if I should tell you, but it's the Christmas present for people in our family that we're going to make that trip.
That's awesome. It all ties in, Owen. It all does. So
it all ties in.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations on your new book. And let's talk again soon. We'll see you in Vegas soon.
Absolutely. In Vegas, we'll talk.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.